welcome to this MYXclusive interview. I'm VJ IE. Hello, everyone watching right now on Facebook, Kumu, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. Hello sa inyong lahat. So for today, we have an artist from Tarsier Records. He's actually turning 28 next week, which is gonna be the release also of his track. And we are going to be talking more about that and how he started in the industry. Please welcome to his first ever MYXclusive interview, Arthur Tan. Yay!
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Mix, for having me. I really appreciate it. And of course, thank you so much to Tarshi Records for making this happen. And it's very nice to meet you and the whole Mix team right now on the broadcast. And hello to everyone watching.
There you go. Thank you. Sobrang complete nung ano mo, no? Nung
Thank
greeting
you.
mo. I love it. You even included the people behind the scenes, and we really appreciate that. Thank you, Arthur. Okay,
Of course.
so kumustahan muna tayo, Arthur, before we delve into your music. So, where are you right now? How are you? How are things going?
I'm good. Right now, I'm in Manila, staying
Mm-hmm.
productive, keeping busy as much as I can, making music, and I'm actually also in school at the same time. So I'm juggling
Oh,
between making music and balancing a bit with school, and just getting to talk to everyone that I can here. Yeah, staying
what are you
productive.
studying?
I'm taking my master's actually in music technology, based out of New York, in New York University, NYU.
Oh, so online classes sa NYU.
Online classes, yeah. So I can take it here, but yung time zone lang. So sometimes I have to wake up at 4 in the morning because at 4 p.m. the class abroad. So it's a interesting lifestyle change, but
So
it's good.
how are music technology classes done? As in parang Zoom-ish ba siya? Tapos like they teach you mga software. Like can you tell us more about?
Sure. They teach it on Zoom mostly, and then sometimes they'll send interactive websites that we can follow. And the music technology program is actually less on the music and more on like the science side. So the coding, how electricity funds through music, or how speakers and electrical stuff will work. Very, very technical stuff na. It's difficult
Mm.
on Zoom, but I appreciate the education opportunity that I was given, and I enjoy all the learnings.
So what time is it here in the Philippines pag may classes kayo?
In my last semester, I think the earliest was 4 in the morning, and then I'd have class 4 in the morning till around 8, 9 in the morning, and then I'll just go back to sleep. I wake up at 1 to eat, and then go about my day.
Medyo doable naman kasi parang you can rest naman right after ulit and then wake up
Yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And
So
since
why
majority of
Mhm.
us stay at home, I'm just at home naman, so I can sleep.
Yes, so it works for you
Right.
naman. So, why did you decide to take up music technology?
It's something I've always wanted to dive into. I've loved music since I can remember, since my teenage years. Oh, I'm so old, but since high school and everything, and I've always had an interest in technology.
Mm-hmm.
My father works in the tech industry. My sister kind of works in the tech industry now as well. So I've been exposed to it all my life, and I've always heard stories of how it evolves. So I kind of wanted to
Mm-hmm.
fuse them both, and that was the course that seemed the most matching of my love for music and my interest in technology.
Yes, it's
And it worked
perfect.
out.
But
Yeah.
was it also related to the undergrad course you took?
Um, no. So my undergrad is from Ateneo here.
Mm-hmm.
I majored in communication, and I focused on
Ah,
production and film. So that's why I'm shouting out to everyone in Mix behind the scenes. I know how hard it is.
that's why. Oo, may ganun ka palang background. Kaya may
Yes,
appreciation ka. May different level
I
of
appreciate
appreciation
it.
sa prod people.
I do. I do.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. So now let's backtrack a little bit.
Sure.
Like when you were younger, ba, how did your love for music develop? Like where did it all start?
Um, I think it really started from. I'll have to give credit to my older sister if she's watching. Hi out there. She listened to a lot of music way before me. I listened to some of the bands that she would listen to.
Like
Come into
which
like,
ones?
I think the first band I really remember loving and still love to this day is Blink 182.
Mm-hmm.
To my friends watching, they know how much I love that band. And I went through the usual pop punk emo phases of Simple Plan, Green Day, The Used, Finch, Taking Back Sunday. So it really started with whatever my sister was listening to. And I think for a lot of younger siblings, they want to be like their older siblings sometimes. So I kind of followed in that path.
I can relate. Yes, I
Right?
am the younger
Being
of
older.
two children as well, and my music
Other.
taste was heavily influenced by my older sister as well. Okay, but
Right.
then how were you able to develop your own taste, your own sound? Like if you were to
Mhm.
describe, your music now to someone who hasn't heard any of your tracks yet, how would you describe it?
Sure. Ooh, I think it's a fusion of all of the influences I've had throughout my life, I guess, in a way. I started out in the band scene when I was much younger, and then for majority of my life, I was heavily in the dance community. So I was a dancer for
Mm-hmm.
about 8 years, maybe 7 years, from high school to college, and then in between that, I was doing my DJing already, and then I guess in DJing and in dancing, I love EDM, house, hip hop,
Yeah.
and I still have roots in the emo indie side, which I grew up on. So I guess they all kind of fuse together, and that's what my music sounds like. At least that's how I interpret it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, now that you've mentioned
it's
that you were a dancer before,
yeah,
so what dance troops were you a part of? Like CADS ba?
yeah.
Anong CADS?
Yes. So in high school, I was part of Dance X. So I went to Xavier for high school, and in
Mm-hmm.
college, I was part of CADS. And during college and post college, I was part of UPeeps. And am I missing
Oh,
one? No, that's about it.
I
Yeah.
didn't know, non-UP people can join UPeeps pala. I thought that was like purely UP people.
It started out as a UP community. If any of my UP friends are watching, hello if I'm wrong. But it started out as a UP community. And later on, when they started branching out, they invited more members, especially when they started competing in higher levels of competitions and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, saan ka na nakarating sa mga competitions? Because usually those are international, those are abroad. For
Yes.
you, ano yung mga narating mo na?
Um, when I was right after high school, I reached the varsity division for World Hip Hop when I was 17,
Ooh.
18 with Fresh Flow. This is 2011 pa. And then
Mm-hmm.
I would say my retirement from dancing was 2014 with U Peeps. So the first ever mega crew division that we competed in, also in Vegas for World Hip Hop. After that, that was kind of like I retired myself now from dancing that hardcore at least. Now it's just in the clubs or at home.
Mm-mm. But why did you decide to quit dancing professionally?
um, it was kind of a conscious decision between I couldn't balance both. Like I didn't want to go half heart lungs to dancing and then half heart lungs to DJing at the time. And I felt that I've given I've achieved everything personally that I wanted in dancing now. I got to at least compete on that level and represent the country. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And it was time to shift my full focus on DJing and music at that time.
Oh, okay. So what was
Yeah.
like the catalyst naman for you to decide na, okay, I really want to make a career out of music?
Um ooh. I think that was something I've always dreamt about in high school.
Mm-hmm.
In I remember this is my motivational thing. Usually whenever I feel down about music, I remember in our fourth year, senior year in high school, you have to write a letter to yourself. Very sentimental, very high school. I think other high schools do that also. And the only
Palangka
thing I
letter
remember
ba to?
writing, yeah, palanca letter to your
Palangka
future self,
letter.
something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anything else that I wrote, but I remember one of them said was, "Please don't stop doing music," and that's just something I always remember. That's the only thing I remember writing to myself. So that's what kind of pushes me to keep going or keep trying at least as long as I can. Yeah,
Oh. All right.
yeah,
And that's what you're doing right now. You're even taking up
that's what I'm
a
trying.
course
I
in
am.
NYU. By the way, how far
Yes.
along are you na dun sa course na yun?
I'm in my second semester, so it's a 2-year program. So my first year is about to be finished. Yes,
Well, good luck with
master's.
that. And,
Thank you.
we can't wait what you're going to be offering after your course there for sure. You're going to be learning a lot and you're incorporating that in your own brand of music. But now let's talk about what you have released. So let's talk
Sure.
about City Runs first. Can you tell us about
Yeah,
this?
sure. City Runs was made after Sleepwalking. So I released Sleepwalking first last year. I want to say September. Yes, September last year.
Did you release
And
that independently or was that under Tarsier na rin?
that was released independently first. Yeah.
Oh, so was that made there in your bedroom?
Yes, this was made here actually.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
an
this is
Akai?
where it was all made. Yes, it is. Nakai keyboard right here. Oh,
Yeah.
nice eye.
Oh.
But yeah, it was made after Sleepwalking.
Mm-hmm.
Sleepwalking kind of set the mood. While I was making music, I still couldn't really figure out what kind of music I was really making. I was still kind of finding, I guess, as they say, your sound.
Mm-hmm.
And after Sleepwalking, I could kind of see, or from the comments from my other friends, they could kind of explain the vibe that they feel for my music. So after that, I was able to make City Runs and the music after that. And I guess City Runs is based off of my experiences from late nights in both New York and in Manila.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to like express that feeling of after you party na and you're just with your friends and you like don't know what time it is and you just feel like going through the city or just like you don't care what time it is, just keep having fun because you had a great night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, that is a
Yeah,
great feeling. By the way, I
yeah,
forgot
one
to
of the best
ask.
feelings. Sure.
Is New York where you're really from? That's why ba it's a special place for you.
It's not where I'm from. I was born in the United States, but I moved
Which part?
I moved to the Philippines. Kokomo, Indiana. It's a small
Ah.
town. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I moved to the Philippines when I was 5 or 6. So I
Mm-hmm.
basically I don't associate so much with being American, Philippine American. I'm raised Filipino all the way. But I did move to New York in 2018 for school and just to try out music and DJing there. And I moved back for now, at least last year, July.
Oh, where did you study there?
I did a 1-year program in audio engineering in this. It's a small school called SAE Institute of Technology,
Mm-hmm.
just to get my footing and just to learn a little bit more before I eventually applied for my master's at NYU. And just to learn more, I wanted to be in an environment outside of like the Philippine learning community to see what it's like and learn and meet new people.
Yes, exactly. I think that's one of the key things that you can get from like a formal kind of setting then the connections that you get with the people you work with there, your classmates and even your instructors kasi parang of course
Definitely,
they'd be in the music industry as well and you can learn a lot from them.
definitely, definitely.
What would you say is like you so far the key things that you got from those experiences?
Um, from the experiences in New York and in school, I think collaborating is the best way to improve. So yes, it's great to sometimes lock yourself in your own room or in your own apartment or in your house and just have solo sessions where you just make music or write or any art form really. But I
Mm-hmm.
think the best way to grow is really to collaborate and talk to other people, even if it's not something tangible that will be released or something that down the line you're going to make a permanent project. Just working
Yeah.
with another person is always refreshing because I think
Mm-hmm.
it takes out some doubts in your head. If in any, I think this is applicable to any art form. Like if you think A looks super pretty or sounds nice, but all of a sudden this person says A would sound better with B, and you never knew about that, then that's how you can improve and create relationships as well.
And were you able to apply that na in the stuff that you've already released? Like, were you able to work with some of your peers there in when you were there in the States? Or meron ka ba mga nakatulong dun sa paggawa mo nitong city runs, sleepwalking, and all of your past projects?
For the original releases, I didn't work so much with my peers from SAE.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are hip hop based. So a lot of them are
Wow.
rappers, hip hop producers, which I love hip hop as well. But I think what I took most out of working with them or being in the studio with them or just talking with them, sometimes I would DJ for some of their performances, is learning about their workflow, how they perceive music, how they create music. So it's an entirely
Mm-hmm.
different process that it's different from mine, and I can learn from that, or I can just see it in a different light. Because everyone creates their art form differently. So it's always nice to see it firsthand, and you draw
Mm-hmm.
inspiration from there, I guess. Hmm.
Speaking of differences, one of the major differences of your tracks from majority of the tracks we hear it's instrumental. So can you explain
Yes.
to us like why you opted to go this route?
Part of it is a little bit of limitation. So I think the quarantine and um, when I was making some of it in New York, the limitation was finding vocalists or reaching out, or it's a little bit harder to collaborate online per se. So when I was making the tracks, I kind of thought of it as I'll just make music and make it sound authentic to me without having to
Mm-hmm.
rely on vocals. So like, what can I come up with that sounds good to me, is authentic to me without having to like rely on vocals? I would love to work with
Oh.
vocalists, but I think that limitation where I couldn't work exactly with other people or I couldn't reach out as easily because of the pandemic was a nice limitation that brought out this project that I enjoy, I personally enjoy.
But don't you sing as well?
Oh no, please don't. I'm a
It's
hundred
not on the
percent sure that
table.
no, that's 100% sure reason why I went the DJ route and not the singer route at all. So I don't have to sing ever. My friends, my peers, my colleagues, my
Mm-hmm.
family can sing 10 times better than me. In karaoke sessions, I'll just be the one to type in the numbers and I'll cheer
So
along with you.
again, nasa tech part ka na naman. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
I'll encode the numbers.
Right,
Kayo
right,
na
yeah,
bahala sa singing part.
yeah.
Okay,
I'll
okay,
check. Does it
gets.
have it? Yeah, it has it. It has it. It's this number. Yeah.
I have a feeling, but I get the sense na you're not just trying to be humble because most Filipinos, diba, when you ask them, oh, can you sing? They're like, oh, I'm okay lang, ganyan. And then when
Yeah.
they grab the mic, parang, ano ba
Bigla
yan?
na lang. I know.
Yes. But parang with the way you answered it, parang I kind of get the feeling na,
No.
yes, legit talaga na parang,
I really
hindi.
can't. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Gets. Okay, so now let's talk about something that you're about to release palang and on your
Yeah,
birthday. Please tell us about
it
this.
is. Sure. So the third single off of my upcoming EP, which is presented also with Tarshia Records, thank you again, will be coming out on May 7th, next Friday, which is also my 28th birthday. So it perfectly aligned. Thank you so much, Tarshia, for indulging in the birthday release. This track is actually gonna be the first track off of my upcoming EP called After the Party, and it's supposedly how I envisioned the last song or the last burst of energy that you hear at a bar or a club, or your first instance of the night out. That's your last burst of energy before the second wave of your night out happens, which is after the party. Wordplay.
Oh, okay, gets. So,
Yes.
if you were to like describe the whole concept of after the party, would it be that like are all the tracks gonna sound like that? Well, is that your main objective per track na parang it's gonna be the sound of like the last sound before like the after party.
Yeah. Um, the whole thing is really based off of after the party. So
Mm-hmm.
it almost follows a storyline. That's kind of how I made it, and I guess it also helps that it's all instrumental tracks. So the first track is Nightcap, which is supposed to be the last burst of energy before you continue on with your friends or you go on to the next part of the night. The second track would be Sleepwalking, which is out already, and that's kind of supposed to be just a vibey song where you're still dancing, you're still enjoying everything, even if your body's tired, but you don't want to stop.
Mhm.
The third one is City Runs, which just came out not too long ago, and that's just more of enjoying the night at that point, like running through the city. That's actually how I coined the title, because during the demo stages, I sent it to one of my friends, my colleagues, and he said, "Oh, this makes me feel like running through the city." So I was like, "That's a great title." So City Runs. Yeah, yeah,
It must be
and
really cool, like naming your instrumental tracks, no? Because pag may lyrics, parang you just choose like a
yeah,
line or like a phrase. Pero pag instrumental, how do you think of the titles nga? Aside from that, yung pag biglang may nagsuggest na friend.
sure. Sometimes I just wait and just re-listen to it and just think of words like this word feels like it a little bit. Sometimes it'll make it to the very last. Like sleepwalking was, I was fortunate enough that after I typed sleepwalking, it stuck all throughout, even if there's no mention of sleepwalking at all in the vocal chops, but it made it all throughout. And yeah, like it's just how I felt about the song, and then I'll just type whatever I felt. It sounds so vague, but it's really how it happens. Yeah.
But yeah, parang it's just fun to think about. Parang how do DJs name their tracks? Okay.
Yeah.
So how many tracks are on After the Party?
Four tracks. So after Nightcap on May 28th, the whole EP will come out. And the last song that will be released is called Slow Breaths, which is the last song in the four series. And that's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be I call it the 6 a.m. song, where it's mellowed down, you're in your bed or everyone's about to sleep, and you just kind of, the night is done. You can see the sun coming up, and it's time to call it a good night. That's supposed
So
to be the
you've
closer.
spent a lot of ano no, like all these after party moments for you to like
Yes,
create a whole compilation about this. Kasi I saw sa comments naman sabi ni
I
Kendra
know.
Dewey, Arthur, national closer ng clubs. National.
Thank you,
National
thank
level. Was this because
you.
you would always DJ ba sa clubs before? Or kahit na hindi ka pa
Yes.
DJ, that's the lifestyle you were accustomed to?
It was really out of DJing. So I DJed since I was 19, so about 9 years now, and I've DJed in a lot of bars and clubs already throughout the years. And I would always prefer actually the closing set. So that's like the 2 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. the really closing ones. And I guess throughout the years it had a special place in my heart, because after that you kind of decide how the crowd will feel at the very end, almost. Because if it's really great, they'll still want to go out some more. And if it's not as great, they'll just go to bed. Or they go to bed happy. It can go both ways.
It's
Yeah.
nice when you talk about this. Parang I can really feel how passionate you are about this. The parang it shows your love for what you
Thank you.
do, and you know where it came from. It's nice discovering that, and nakakatawa talaga yung
Thank
mga
you.
comments. I
I
won't
know.
I won't read it na
I
lang
can
muna,
see it.
pero nakakatawa yung mga comments. But
I can
okay.
see them also.
For those who are watching right now, kasi let's face it, Arthur, here in the Philippines, DJing is not as popular as, just going mainstream na singer na lang, or,
Correct.
band member
Yeah.
and stuff. Konti pa lang yung mga DJs. I mean, there are a lot, pero like compared sa mga singers
Other
and
scales.
bands, oo, syempre, konti lang. So, what would your advice be to those watching right now who might be interested in this as well? Like, if you were to sell being a DJ,
Sure.
why would someone become a DJ? What do you love most about it?
Sure. What I love most about DJing personally is it's almost like storytelling when you DJ. So it's using other people's music or music that you love, that you kind of tell a story. So it's almost like it's similar to songwriting, I guess. Like songwriting, you put yourself into a song, or however you write a lyrics or any type of original composition. It's a part of
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and that's the same way with DJing. It's almost like you're telling a story or making the people feel how you feel about a certain situation. Or another side of it is that it's also a great satisfaction making people happy. Like when I get to make someone's night, whether it's 15 people, 5 people, or a few, like I don't think I've reached super 100 people, but good amount of people. If they're having a great time and you keep them happy throughout an hour or however long you can, it's a great feeling. It's almost like you control the narrative, and at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you're saying it with yourself. You're saying it in your own way, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. It
Yeah.
does.
Okay. Thank
Thanks
you.
for painting us a picture of how it's
Yeah.
like. Parang you're like the captain of the ship. Tas parang if everyone on board is having a great time, then that's you. Parang it's
Yeah.
because of me. Parang ganon.
Yeah. And you can. It's sometimes you, in the lack of a better term, educate, or you get to introduce new music to people that they never knew that they like, and then you're
Mm.
almost like a natural Spotify at that point. Like you made people learn about a new song or genre that they didn't know they like, and then if later on they follow that artist or look into that genre, then that's even better. And you won't even know, or sometimes you'll know. Yeah.
There you go. So to everyone watching, if you're looking for a sign, kung, pwede ba ako mag-DJ? There you go.
That's
I
great.
hope, we helped you somehow. But please do check out Arthur Tan's music. And of course, let's all wait for the release of After the Party EP on
Yes.
May 28th. But
Correct.
Arthur, of course, whenever you drop new tracks from After the Party, you post about it. So for those who might just be getting introduced to you and your music right now, where can they follow you online? How can they support you? Go ahead.
Sure. You can follow me on Instagram. It's instagram.com/Mr. Arthur Tan. So it's mr.arthurtan. For Twitter, it is the same, except it's mr_Arthur Tan. And Facebook, it's also facebook.com/Mr. Mr.Arthur Tan. My Spotify is also Arthur Tan. SoundCloud, you can find my DJ mixes. Still the same, mr.Arthur Tan. And yeah, I think those are all my social media platforms. May 7, as you mentioned, Nightcap comes out for my birthday, and May 28th is the entire EP, After the Party.
Yay!
And
We'll
yeah,
be looking forward to that. Any plans on releasing music videos for your tracks? Because of course on Mixed
yes,
About we love playing out music videos.
yes. Each song will come with an accompanying visualizer with Tarshi Records, which we collaborate on and make sure it's in line and they're beautiful. Thank you so much, Tarshi Records, for this opportunity, and thank you, Mix,
Wait,
for
have you
having me.
seen the visualizers na? Can you tell us a little bit about it? Will there
I've
be people
only
in it or are they animated?
They're all animations. They're all
Okay.
visual. They're all different scenes and loops to accompany the instrumentals in the songs. But the one out right now is City Runs, and there's one for Sleepwalking also done independently before. But the following ones I will tell you to watch out for.
Okay, and that we will
Yeah.
do. We'll watch out for it. Lastly, what's your message to all of your fans, all of your supporters watching right now who are very active on the comment section?
I know I can see it. Um, Thank you so much for everyone watching. Thank you to all my friends. I can see all the comments now. Thank you, of course, to my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother-in-law watching in the States, hopefully. Thank you to my beautiful girlfriend, Monica, for supporting and helping. Thank you to Tarsi Records very much for making this happen. And thank you to Mix, of course, for giving me this opportunity.
Of course, you're always welcome here, Arthur. And guys, when the music videos come out, please do vote for it on our official website, mixph.com. And let's follow Arthur and his music. Again, guys, May 7, his birthday, Nightcap is going to be coming out, the last track on
Yes.
the After the Party EP, which is going to be released on May 28th this year
Yes.
as well. So, malapit na, guys. Next month na.
I
So
know.
we'll be waiting for that, Arthur. I hope we can guest you in person in the future someday, after everything. Pag
I would
naging
love
normal na
that.
lahat. Yes,
I
we'd
know.
love to meet you in person. But for now, that's it for this MYXclusive interview. To everyone watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube,
Kumu,
Kumu,
TikTok,
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah.
Thank you
Yep.
so much for watching us. This has been BJ IE, and thank you so much to Arthur Tan. Woohoo!
Thank you so much.
Bye!
Thank you.